Well, in the series of videos I was doing where I was looking at the frequency response of plugins, what was going on maybe behind the scenes, certainly these black box plugins, they give you descriptive controls for actual EQ functions that are going on in the background. But yesterday, with Waves announcing that their plugins are available only through subscription, this may change people's attitudes towards these plugins. So one of the plugins I looked at about a month ago was CLA Vocals. I showed you what it was doing behind the scenes, what the different faders were for EQ, what they were controlling, what they kind of looked like, the slopes and things like that, frequency centers. This week, I'm going to show you the CLA Bass plugin. So in order to do this test, I am using Pro Tools. I'm sending through SoundGrid Network to another computer, which is running Smart 9, looking at frequency analysis of it. And this tells us what's going on behind the scenes. So let's take a look here. Just even in and nothing going on, there is definitely an EQ curve going on. If I bypass this, there it's flat. Okay. You see right here, it's giving me 2.7 milliseconds latency time at 96K. Where are these frequency centers? Let's see here. 60 hertz, there's a bump. There's kind of a belly cut at 220-ish, maybe 200. Another pretty common boost, about 1.6, and a little bit of top end rolled off. So I have this actually captured here. I'm going to turn this off for a second. You see my capture. All right, that's what we're going to be working from. Turn this guy back on. This is our real time. Now let's look at what some of these controls do. Let's go to sub. Boost it up. Yeah, look at that. So what's it doing? Give me 60 hertz. All right, push it all the way to the top. Give me that. Look at lower. Lower shifts it to about 80. Upper puts it at, what's it telling us? 410-ish, somewhere in there. Turn that off. Reset that. Let's look at honk. Honk is pretty wide. Looks like it's going around 878, somewhere in there. Maybe 850. Hard to tell, it's so wide. There's bark. Bark coming in at 1.8, 1.78. And here's cut. Cut through is coming about 2.6. So I actually have these all stored as separate captures. There's the lower whacked all the way to the top. There's the upper. There's honk. There's bark. And there's cut. Pushed all the way to the top. What I want to do is actually pull up a different plugin and see if I can mimic. Okay. We're on zero latency. Now, to save time, I actually did this ahead of time. There is that. Let me turn on that trace we had before. Right over the top. I'll switch to the other side. I'm taking both sides of the plugin, stereo plugin. But it seems like the blue is going to be easier to see. So there it is over the top. So what I had to do, turn it back on. And you can see what the values are right there. If not, maybe you need to pause this video and take a peek at it. All right, there it is. So I'm going to turn off that one, turn the lower back on, and I had pre-done some of these. All right, so let's see if we can match that boost. I'm going to change my colors over here. Go to this one instead. Okay. 87.34. There it is. Phase looks the same, so I'm using the same filters combination type of filters. There's that one. Turn that one back off. Let's turn lower off, and let's look at the upper. Which is it this guy? 410, right? Yep. There it is. Phase matches the same. There's the value. That's, of course, with the fader pushed all the way to the top. That's what it would give you. Turn that one off. Let's look at what honk actually is. Came up as 644. Yeah, 645. Who's counting? There it is. The bark whacked all the way top. Now there's two things here. There it is. And the phase matches. I went about this a couple different ways. I tried taking an extra filter in there and boosting it up, adding to the original one in there. But then I also just did this one here. This is a cleaner way of doing it, because before I wasn't getting the same phase. I was getting a couple of phase disturbances in here when I was stacking 2 filters on. So this takes the original filter and moves it up some. All right, let's turn that one off. Now let's go back to cut. All right, we're looking for that big boost right there at 3.5. And there it is. So what's going on underneath the hood? Simple EQ. Now the other parts of that plugin are not going to be able to be analyzed with Smart. But compress, we know what that is. Sub, let's actually take a look at sub. What's sub doing here? It's probably like an R bass, isn't it? Adding that stuff down the bottom. There's a phase shift there. Distortion, yeah, you know what? Pitch, that's going to be a harmonizer. Yeah, that's kind of thing. You're not going to be able to really see that in Smart. So as you can see, you can use another EQ to get to what that sound is. You're not going to have the same distortion or the subharmonic if you don't use that plugin. Probably R bass, I'm guessing. But there's other manufacturers that make sub bass plugins that you could use. So leave a like and a comment. If you actually would you comment down below what plugin do you want to see, certainly from Waves? What do you want me to fast track? So I have an idea of what I want to do. Maybe the tape simulator's next. But if there's another plugin that you guys want sooner, leave in a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications. So when I actually do get around to making another video, you'll be notified of it. But hit subscribe, because I'm seeing from the analytics that a lot of people are not subscribed to this channel and are watching the videos. So do that. Like everybody says, it helps out the algorithm. I much appreciate it. Thank you. Until next time.